Hello, everyone. Welcome to Intro to Persuasive Writing. Today, I want to give you guys a little bit more information on what it means to write persuasively and maybe give you a few tips and tricks on how to make your writing more persuasive. So in order to do that, first we have to answer the question, what is persuasive writing? And as we learned from last time in our last lesson, Intro to Author's Purpose, when someone writes persuasively, they're trying to convince the reader of something. So whenever you're writing to convince someone of something, that means you're writing persuasively. We do it all the time, whether we realize it or not. So now you might be asking yourself, what are some examples of persuasive writing? Well, you're in luck. I'm going to give you 4. So number 1, you're going to see persuasive writing a lot in commercials, politician speeches, advertisements, and debates. Commercials and advertisements, they're typically trying to convince you to buy something. So whoever is writing the script to a commercial or writing an advertisement, their goal, their mission is to persuade you to buy something. A politician's speech is usually going to be to convince you to vote for a certain person. And a debate, if you're a debater in a debate, you're trying to convince the audience or the other person of whatever it is you're debating about. So these are just 4 common examples, common places that you're going to see persuasive writing, but there are many, many more examples out there where you're going to see it as well. So since we've already talked about it, you guys know what persuasive writing is. I'm going to put you to the test right off the bat here. I'm going to give you 3 pieces of text on your screen, and you're going to have to do your best to tell me, or to think at least in your head, which one of these pieces of text is persuasive. All right, hope you're ready. Number 1, Timmy rushed out of bed and quickly ate a bowl of cereal. After he finished, he rushed to his bike and he realized his bike was missing. Number 2, Timmy rushed out of bed and quickly ate a bowl of cereal. Cereal is a breakfast food that's primarily carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are one of the 3 macronutrients. All right, number 3. Timmy rushed out of bed and quickly ate a bowl of cereal. It was Fruit Loops, his favorite cereal ever. If you've ever had Fruit Loops, or if you've never had Fruit Loops, you're missing out on the amazing fruity flavor. All right, so which one is persuasive? Number 1, 2, or 3? If you guessed number 3, or if you thought number 3, then you were correct. Number 3 is definitely trying to persuade us of something. What do you think number 3 is trying to persuade you of? Maybe to buy Fruit Loops? I don't know. The last thing I have for you guys, in the end, we can definitely do a few extra things to our writing to make it a little bit more persuasive. I have 3 things that you can do to your writing to make it more persuasive. Number 1, maybe the most important, is interest. It's much more effective to persuade someone if you're interested in what you're talking about. So if you're me, a crazy ELA teacher, I'm really interested in things like author's purpose. So if I'm trying to convince you guys that author's purpose is the best thing ever, it sure helps if I'm interested in it, instead of if I'm talking like this, author's purpose is cool. Not very convincing. So if you're interested in whatever it is you're talking or writing about, it's going to make it more persuasive. Number 2 is research. If facts support what you're saying, what you're trying to convince your reader of, it's going to be much easier to convince them of whatever it is you're saying if you have researched it and you have facts to support it or back it up. The 3rd thing is clarity. This is super important, you guys. So if your writing isn't clear, if it's not clear what you're even talking about, you're probably not going to persuade the person of it because they don't really even know what you're talking about. So make sure that your writing is clear, it's organized, so your reader knows what you're talking about and trying to convince them of. If you keep these 3 things in mind as you're writing, if you're trying to write persuasively, it's going to help you out a whole bunch and make whatever it is you're writing much more persuasive. Again, that's interest, research, and clarity. And that's about it. That's all I have for you guys for persuasive writing. This was a short one today. So I hope this helped. I hope this helped you make your writing a little bit more persuasive. I hope it helped your understanding of persuasive writing. And with that being said, I will see you guys on the next lesson.